So what do I think is a perfect second year tree? So this is my ideal perfect second year tree. It has a really thick trunk. The branches are perfectly spaced out. There's 4 of them here. You can go with 3. You have a smaller pot, but I've gone with 4. It's just easier to balance that way. And this tree has it all. How did I get this tree to look exactly like this? Well, first year I took the cutting from the tree pot and I put it directly into a sip. That was at the beginning of spring last year. And I grew it as a single leader all year. And then I cut it down to 30 inches and stored it for the winter. This spring, I brought the tree out. It already had a nice thick trunk then, and I cut it from 30 inches down to about 24 inches. And then this year, the tree grew these 4 branches, and they were in pretty good shape. They had a really good distribution, pretty nice shape. You can see this tall branch, the very top branch really kind of grew straight up. And so what I've done is I've tied that down using this string here, drill a hole in this pot and use a string to pull it down so it's not shooting quite straight up. But this tree, I believe, is exactly what you want at the end of your second year. How did this tree get to look the way I like it? Why does it look so good to me? Well, a few things. First, I grew it as a single leader. Second, I put it in as big of a pot as possible. And in this instance, I used a sip. I made a video on how to make a sip, so go ahead and take a look at that. But the sip, this is a 20-gallon sip. I believe it outperforms any 20-gallon pot. And 20 gallons is pretty big. So you don't want to just go throwing kind of a mediocre variety into a big sip because you're going to run out of space very quickly. But anyway, so what I did here is those 2 factors I concentrated on. Single leader in a big pot first year. And this is the end result. So now let's take a look at another tree that has always lived in a 5-gallon pot. This tree right here is Coldodon roja. It has pretty decent branch spacing. I could spread these out a little bit, maybe turn one in this way. I should do that pretty soon actually. But this tree, these were about the same size cutting at the beginning of the spring last year. And as you can see, a 5-gallon pot, I could put my hand completely around the trunk. But over here, the tree is so big that my fingers won't even touch. The advantages this tree has over the smaller tree should just be obvious. You have a bigger root mass, and you have a smaller root mass on the Coldodon roja. So, bigger root mass is going to take up more nutrients faster. It's going to support a bigger tree above the soil. Okay, those are the basics. Thicker trunk is just a stronger tree. It's going to be able to send the nutrients into the tree more efficiently and better and a lot more than a smaller, thin tree. So why is this Coldodon roja in a 5-gallon? Well, purely based on space and logistical considerations. I have a lot of trees, and this is a variety that's longer ripening, so it's a little bit more in the testing phase and whether I'm going to keep it or not. So that's why it's in a 5-gallon. All right, so that's all I got for today. Just a quick, short video telling you what I think a perfect second-year tree is. Not all of my trees look like this. It could be a lot of reasons. Could be the spacing of the branching. Could be that I didn't get around to shaping the tree like I wanted to, and so on. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, so you can get notified when I put out a new video. And it's helpful for me to see more subscribers and getting the questions and comments from you all. And let's grow some figs.